a proud dad check, VIP
Oh, yes.
Vontavious Imperial Porter, your son,
My little boy.
um, competed in his first jiu-jitsu tournament. So I want to
Yes.
ask you how he do and if you learn anything about him by watching him compete, man.
Dude, this was one of my proudest daddy days so far. We went to NAGA, not to be confused with MAGA, North American Grappling Association. I quit wearing the NAGA t-shirts because I don't
Oh,
want
because
people
yeah,
to
from a
say,
distance.
yeah, from a distance it looks too close. Um, the first jiu-jitsu tournament that I ever competed in as a white belt with no stripes was a North American Grappling Association tournament, NAGA. And I double gold. I competed in no
Mm.
gi, competed in gi, and subbed my way to victory. And was super proud. Cost me, I don't know, a little under a couple $100 because you got to pay to compete in both for the equivalent of maybe a $2 medal or something. But it was worth every penny. And then who we are, 12 years later, my offspring, the champion that I sired,
VIP.
Vontavious Imperial Porter, his name that he chose. I found out Friday night when I took him to wrestling practice that there was a NAGA tournament the next day, and I had been telling him when he was ready I was going to sign him up, and he finished wrestling practice, and he did a double practice because I made him stay for the adult practice because no adults showed up. So, and then after that, I went out there with his coach Jalen, Professor Asif. We put a loaner gi on him and just went over some final rules so he understood, because Professor Asif is teaching him like high level subs that he can't use at his age group.
Okay, okay.
Remember, you can't use this kind of choke. You can't do leg locks. You can't just but he got it. And I told him, okay, man, I signed you up to compete tomorrow. And he was like, really? Cool. He wasn't nervous, wasn't
No
uptight. He
thing.
was excited. And I signed him up. And the first kid he didn't sub because he ran out of time. And the first kid was tough. It was a tough match, but once Cam got settled in and settled down, he kind of figured out what he was doing, and it was all down here for that kid. And what I was so proud of, more than him winning or losing, and this is what I told him. I said, they have a saying in jiu-jitsu: you either win or you learn. But no, you lose. you don't. You learn how to win a silver medal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the saying and I understand, but in Cam's case, I told him I don't care if you win or lose. The fact that you competed is everything. But what I loved was that his composure during the match. He never spazzed out and got excited. The whole time he was listening to me and Professor Kurt Zettelmoyer, champion
Oh,
BJJ.
what a Kurt.
Kurt was with me, because Kurt had other students from the school competing, but um, you could see Cam calm, listening to what we were telling him to do. And then when he did win, he got up, helped his opponent up, gave him a hug, and told, hey, good fight. And all his opponents cried when they lost. Every
Really?
single one of those little boys cried. So it's kind of sad. I know it hurts, but like I taught Camden, you don't cry when you lose. There's no crying when you lose. You think about, oh man, next time I'll do better, and you come away from that. And yeah, it sucks to lose, but you don't. Cry if your best friend dies. Cry if your cat dies. But don't cry because you lost a jiu-jitsu match. Don't cry because you lose a football game. I just different. But these little boys were crying, and Camden, gave him a hug and consoled him. Said, "Hey man, good fight, tough fight."
What's the age range?
10, 11.
Oh,
And
okay.
Camden was from 70 to 79.9.
Okay.
So, but this next tournament, I'm gonna put him in at 80 to 89 because he'll probably gain a few pounds. He's growing, so he'll probably be over 80 pounds by February because I got him in another one coming up. But yeah, Naga used to give like the cheap Chinese katana swords. That was for the kids. But something happened; they don't have them anymore. But now they have like mini belts. And several years ago, I competed in a Naga World Championship in Dallas when I was a purple belt, and I went up against. Now, NAGA isn't like IBJJF, which is the governing body. So NAGA will play with the rules a little bit, and that if you if you're signed up in your division and you don't have anybody signed up in your division, if you're willing to go up in competition or up in weight class, they'll let you just so you can get a match. So there was a black belt who was my age and weight, but had nobody in his division. So they're like, if you want to go up against a black belt, we give a man. I was like, man, I came to fight, sure, you know. So he beat me in no-gi, but I pulled my hamstring, and he got the takedown in the final seconds. Like, all right, no problem. But I was gonna pull because I had a bad hamstring, and I still had to wrestle. You know, I was still working in indies at the time, and